Celebrating our veterans, very important. And I'm proud to see that our company wraps our arms around our responsibility through the leadership of the CRG and everybody coming together. As a company, we also think it's quite important to step up and do our job relative to employing veterans. And our hiring practices have actually received a lot of positive recognition. And I'm proud of that, and you all should be proud of that, including the Military Times selected Cigna as a Best for Vets company. The Department of Defense recently recognized us for our support relative to the National Guard and the Reserves. The state of Connecticut nominated us for their highest award, their Freedom Award, and GI Jobs signified us as 2015 as a military-friendly organization. Those are great accomplishments, but it's because we're doing it for the right reason, with the right people, and we benefit, the vets benefit, our community benefits. It's one of those triple win-wins. So today, outstanding opportunity for us to pause, reflect, thank our veterans for what they do for us and what they afford us.
Cigna is a company committed to hiring veterans. CEO David Cordani recently said protecting our nation requires levels of leadership, teamwork, and commitment that we rely on our military personnel to demonstrate every day. Joining us now to talk about Cigna's veteran initiatives is Jim Wiggs, an IT service management director, and also one of the original founders of Project Hero at the company. Jim served both with the Air Force for 14 years and with the Massachusetts Air National Guard for 15 years. Jim, welcome to Hiring America.
Thank you.
Tell us a little more about Cigna.
Cigna is a health service company, and we provide services around the globe. We basically want to improve the health, the well-being, and the sense of security for our members.
And what's the culture like? What can veterans expect if they decide to work for you?
Well, they can expect a company that is on the move, and they can expect a culture that's very welcoming, very comfortable to work in. That will embrace them with open arms. We look for talent that wants to move up the ladder, and as long as people come in and they're contributing, it's a great place to be.
So how do you go about recruiting and hiring the veterans?
Several different methods. We do attend some recruiting fairs. We've launched what we call the Ambassador Program because we have a veterans resource group that is all across the country. And we've started these, what we refer to as ambassador programs, where we hit universities, we hit recruitment fairs, we do charity work in the neighborhood.
What skill sets do veterans have that make them good employees at Cigna?
They're dedicated, they're very organized, they certainly know how to follow directions, and they have that can-do attitude. And it doesn't matter what skill that they were doing in the military, all those translate to something in corporate America.
Do you find that it's a little bit of a challenge to convince these veterans that they have all of these skill sets that can easily translate into these jobs?
It's not a challenge to convince them. It's a challenge to help them translate their skills, because they just really, they don't know how their skills translate to corporate America because of the way that the jobs are labeled in the military by the career fields. And one of the best things you can do when you're looking to hire a veteran is put their resume to the side and just talk to them. Talk to them about what they're doing, and their skills will really come out. But if you just read their resume, it's hard sometimes to get it from their resume.
You know what it's like to make that transition firsthand.
I do, yes.
What did you do in the service?
I was a telecommunications specialist, spent about half of my career enlisted. I started as a teletype operator, and then went all the way up through the computer security side and telephone operations. I got commissioned in the telecommunications field, and then my last 5 years of service, I worked with Homeland Security in the state of Connecticut.
Cigna was the only place you worked since you left the service, is that right?
Cigna is the only, I call it the only real corporate job I've ever had. I was very nervous going into it, but I realized that big corporate America has a lot of the bureaucracy that I was used to in the government, so it was a natural fit after a while.
How did you begin your search? How did you find Cigna?
Through a friend. I'd heard great things about Cigna, and so there was an opportunity that presented itself that I was well matched for, that I felt I was well matched for, and it worked out very well for me.
What was that like, juggling both, working full-time, being in the Air National Guard?
Once I went to part-time in the Guard and was working full-time, it was tough sometimes, especially as an officer, because it's not your typical 2 weeks, 1 week in a month anymore, and it was challenging at times, but thankfully I had a very supportive family. I had a very supportive supervisory staff at Cigna, and with the right support, you can juggle those things, but it does get difficult at times.
What kind of support did Cigna offer you so you were able to do both and not feel overwhelmed?
One is that they have the flex time. As long as you were communicating and you said, hey, I've got this coming up this weekend, or I've got this meeting that I need to attend during the week. We just worked around it. You scheduled your time around it and stuff, and they were very understanding of that. It's easy to make the right accommodations to juggle your family and your military schedule.
The CRG was introduced to help provide a resource and a network for personal, professional development for veterans, as well as an opportunity to give back to their community. And as a voice within the business, an opportunity for veterans, and there are almost 700 veterans across the Cigna network, to be able to be represented in the Cigna culture. It's guided by its mission. There are 4 pillars within the mission. The first is veteran recruiting, retention, and development. The second is building out our supplier chain and working closely with veteran-owned businesses. The third is finding solutions within our products for veterans and their families and supporters to better suit them. And then lastly, it's to partner with charitable organizations within the various communities that our veterans live.
What's Project Hero?
Well, Project Hero started with me and 7 other individuals. We started as an initiative to hire veterans into Cigna, and kind of modeled it after some of our university hire programs. And it took off like wildfire. I was just really amazed at how it took off.
What inspired you to launch it?
Well, being a veteran myself, and knowing there was a few veterans around the company, and honestly knowing we have an aging workforce and we're looking for great talent, I said, why don't we go after some veterans? And we did.
What was the process like launching something like that?
Basically, the first thing we had to do was get an executive sponsor, which was extremely easy. Within an hour and a half of me presenting the idea, an executive stopped by my office, gave the thumbs up, and we were off and running it from that point on.
What does that say about Cigna's commitment to veterans?
It just says that we're definitely committed, and we recognize the talent that's there and recognize what it can do for our workforce, and it's a great thing.
How do employees become involved in Project Hero?
Well, once you come into the company, we ask people to disclose if they're a veteran or not, and if they disclose they're a veteran, we will seek them out, welcome them, do an introduction, and we kind of assign a buddy to them to help them get settled into the company. And Project Hero has evolved into this bigger organization called a Veterans Colleague Resource Group. And that bigger organization, you can get involved with different things. You can get involved with charity work, you can get involved with things internally, you can get involved with working with veterans to work on resumes or recruiting.
From a company side, why is that support so important?
Well, I think without it, you're going to fail. When our CEO speaks at our veterans events that we have every year in November, and that shows that he's committed to it as well. And our CIO and the head of my group, they both are always contacting me, asking me how's it going, how they can help, and that's the things that we need and stuff, because without that support we're not going to be successful. And because we do get pretty busy at work and we're juggling these things off the side of our desk, it's tough at times. For
those interested in jobs at Cigna, where can they go to find out more?
Well, actually, you can go to www.cigna.com, go to our website, to our careers page. That's the primary thing. But also, if there's veteran hiring events coming up, some of those we're part of. But the best place is to check our website, or to reach out to anyone that that maybe work for Cigna, and ask them about how you can become part of the Cigna family.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Hiring America. It was truly a pleasure.
I appreciate it. And before I go, I got a small token of appreciation for you. It's a challenge coin that we made for Cigna.
Thank you.
And all our veteran members get these, and it has the crest from the different services on the back and our logo on the front.
Thank you. It's something we'll certainly treasure. Thank you again.
Thank you.